Thank you for staying with us. Now we are taking you to Ekiti State to dissect Governor Biodun Oyebanji's comprehensive roadmap for the state's development. At the inception of his administration, Governor Oyebanji unveiled a 6-pillar development plan. He says the strategic plan focuses on 6 key areas, which are human capital development, agriculture and rural development, infrastructure and industrialization. Others are arts, culture and tourism, governance and social investment. Mr. Oyebanji once said that his vision is to make Ekiti State a destination of choice for work, living and investment. He added that he's committed to equipping the people of the state with skills, attracting investors and building infrastructure to support growth. Has the governor been able to create jobs, improve agriculture, enhance infrastructure, promote tourism, and ensure good governance? The Special Advisor on Transformation and Service Delivery in Ekiti State, Dr. John Ekundayo, joins us now to tell us if the governor has been able to deliver on some of these promises. Good morning. It's good to have you.
Good morning.
Now, like we pointed out, the pillars, the 6 pillars, has the governor been able to deliver on these things?
I would say that by 16th of October, 2024, to be 2 years of Governor Biodun Oyebanji in the saddle of governance in Ekiti State. And to answer that question, well, as part of the state actor, I would say with metrics, of governance, because my office, the Office of Transformation and Service Delivery, tracks the movement along the 6 strategic pillars of the government. When we are talking about youth development and job creation, talking about human capital development, talking about agriculture and rural development, talking about infrastructure and industrialization, talking about arts, culture and tourism, and then the last pillar, governance. So based on the tracking, not just stay in the office, we go out to also gauge the feeler of the people, and we bring back such to the government, even to ESCO, to discuss. And then we now look at what areas are we living, what gap do we need to fill. And within these months that have gone by, in the last 18 months plus, I can say that the governor has a good pass mark based on projects, programs that have been completed, ones that are ongoing, and ones that are proposed to happen even before the 2nd anniversary of the government.
All right. We need you to be very specific on some of these pillars. Let's look at human capital development, youth development, and job creation in the state. How well has Ekiti grown in terms of, internally generated revenue since the governor came in?
Okay, well, a lot wrapped together, but I will try to break that I will start with internally generated revenue, which is under governance pillar. Actually, since the advent of Oyebanji's administration, something unique has happened in Ekiti State in that the performance in revenue, especially IGR, was about 106%. And that's the first time that will happen. So when we are talking about transformational stride, that has really happened. And it started because it was objective in governance. Actually, the government had hunted for the chairman of the Ekiti Internal Revenue Service and make sure that was, got into a private consultant, and then the best was got. And then Ekiti Internal Revenue Service was actually given autonomy to operate, under the chairmanship of Mr. Olanira, who have been doing creditably well. So with that, Ekiti has actually, is still ongoing. The last one, it has all that we have had so far. It has made the best, and it's still improving. And we are still targeting to do more. And then when you talk about human capital development, it's under that we have education, we have health, we have social investment. In education, for instance, about 202 public secondary schools in Ekiti have witnessed innovation from October 16, 2022 to date, under the Agile World Bank supported program, Adolescent Girl Initiative for Learning and Empowerment. And then improvement has happened also in over 200 schools When you go through Ekiti, anywhere you may come through Ekiti, you see our schools the way they are. And then not just that, recruitment of teachers has taken place, ICT facilities, internet facilities in our schools in Ekiti State. And then when you talk about health, right now we have renovation going on in most of our secondary health institutions in Ekiti State right now as we speak. And also, the government is also extending even electricity supply through IPP to our Ekiti State University Teaching Hospital complex right now. Under the infrastructural pillar, we have the independent power. Ekiti is even one of the states that's been commended at the federal level for taking the initiative to bring power to the people, make it independent, and we want to expand more and do more. The government secretariat, the government house is covered by IPP right now, and we have virtually uninterrupted power supply. So when you talk about youth too, youth are involved in agriculture now in Ekiti. So it's a good thing under Governor Biodun Oyebanji, in partnership with YSJ, private investor. Lots of youth are into agriculture all over the state. We have in about 200 communities, lands have been cleared in cluster farming. So the next harvest season in Ekiti, I tell you, is going to be something different. We are even talking now and thinking around storage so that we will avoid post-harvest losses. So these are some of the initiatives. These are some of the, and I'm involved in some of these things. I didn't just sit in the office. I go out. For your information, Veronica, I have a 2-acre farmland in Ekiti now. I don't want to come to Lagos.
So the matter of food security is
we are tackling it. We are tackling. We are critiquing it. I'm even critiquing the Commissioner of Agriculture. Always tackling him. We need to do something. We must not just be speaking grammar. We must not just pay lip service to agriculture. We need to not just agriculture. We are going the value chain, the agribusiness, so that when we produce this thing, we are going to come out with expression of interest. Let investors come in, and they are even coming in, so that we want to make it the food basket, of the Southwest. And because of our proximity to Lagos, why should it be that food something will be coming from the north? Why in Ekiti we are known for our agrarian something? Only the time of Shipapa Pemi Awolowo, 50% whatever is coming from agri something, cocoa and the rest, was from Ondo province, and Ekiti State was part of that. So why can't we make it happen right now?
Even the Southwest governors, they met and agreed that they will address the matter of agriculture. They will go ahead, head on to tackle this matter of food security, and so they are looking at aggressively farming at this point. Yes,
and part of the thing that the Southwest governors have adopted was what actually we initiated in Ekiti State, which is cluster farming.
Right.
Like in a community, you have people who want to farm together. It provides security. About 20 people coming together to farm. And lands are being cleared now. Even in my own community, another community too, lands are being cleared for such people. And the government will even provide, we tractorize the land free. The government will give seed input to them. So the governor was addressing them recently while sharing palliative to the youth. So, well, go to the farm, because what else? Government will even buy the produce from you again. So why should you now say you don't have enough opportunities? So this is the time to actually go to the farm and do something.
They're still talking about this matter of farming. There was a report or a story over the weekend talking about people who went to the farm in either Ogun State or one of the states and were attacked. And I'm wondering what the government is doing with regards to ensuring that the farmers are safe while they're in their farm.
Now, in Ekiti State, let me just say that, our governor, initially, some people critique him or criticize him because it was actually shuttling Abuja to get to some federal agencies. Particularly, it was with the Chief of Defense Staff, it was with Chief of Army Staff, talking about security matter, and it paid off for us. Now, because in Ekiti now, part of the 32 Artillery Brigade of Nigerian Army, they are permanently in Ekiti State. Apart from the Amatekun that have been fortified, empowered, given equipment, given facilities, So all our border towns, especially where we have the flash spot, we have the red spot, you see, are being manned now, and even going to the forest. So with that, relatively in Ekiti State, you travel, and you have your farmland everywhere. Is in Okeako, is it Otun, is in Ido, Ikere, Igbara, Odo, Efun, Alayi, or anywhere. So by all metrics, for people passing through Ekiti, they can talk about that safety to go to the farm, and people are going to the farm and partaking in agricultural activity right now. I can tell you that.
And it goes beyond, the Office of Transformation and Service Delivery, saying that they are checking on some of these activities by the governor. One of the metrics or indicators of success, especially in the state, should be public perception, especially when you meet an average Ekiti resident. They should say that some of these policies have had a direct, impact on them. So talk to us about that.
Yeah. Now, let me just give this one that very soon our dashboard will be going out, Ekiti project dashboard, and that will be the first in the Federation. So, but be that as it may, that will give us better perspective. But like I said earlier on, we have gone out on a couple of occasions to decipher the perception of the people. Actually, for me, it may interest you that in my research, I did followership, and that's part of, I want to know what the people are saying about the government. And there was a time like that, we presented a report to Mr. Governor from my office, and I was surprised, noting that, saying that I have to present this to the ESCO as information memo, and that day, it generated a lot of reactions, a lot of responses and reactions too. You see, because there were some communities that were saying, we are not feeling your impact, and that's the truth. And we responded as a government, to make sure that such communities, certain things trickles down to them, certain things get to them in our policy execution, in our strategic execution, whether in youth development, and job creation, whether in human capital development, whether in infrastructure, especially in area of infrastructure. Many people, if we are doing road, for instance, we are constructing road, and it's not even extending to their community. Even when you are doing other things, it's like there's nothing you are doing, because this road we are passing, is bad. You see, so we go further. What is it that you really want? Where are you not feeling these pillars? And they tell us, and we report back to the government that in social community, this is their perception, and we try to get the strategy around that to make sure we resolve that. It's an ongoing process, but I can tell you it's what we are tracking.
Perhaps you need to give us an example of a community and what they said that they were not feeling from government, and what the government did to address,
Yeah, I remember, we went out. I was on the field. I led that team, and we went to the 3 senatorial districts, and were particularly in a particular senatorial district, and we were told, right, and we were picking principal towns. When we moved to this town, in this senatorial district, the next time we changed to another town, so that we are not just getting the perspective of people, And I remember a particular place in which we are in, and then they just mark this thing down drastically. And when it got to ESCO, it was discussed. And people talk about, I remember Ejero was talking about that. And basically because of the road, you see, and the people felt that more concentration was on Ado Ekiti because of the state capital, and that's always been the usual thing in all the other states. So government started to now move, and I remember the government came with, okay, Messi, Itaure, that's when you are entering Ekiti State, Itaure, okay, Messi, Ijero Road now. And of course, the perspective in there is that government is now here, touching us, reaching us. And government has also moved to other areas, like we have Ikere, Isemure Road, we have our Ikole, Simbode Road, ongoing. All these are projects ongoing. Ifaki, Ado Ifaki, Woroko Road, Ado Woroko Ifaki Road is ongoing. All these are some of the projects to make sure that it's not just concentration in Ado Ekiti. And then let me just say about infrastructure, electricity. There were some communities in Ekiti, not just in one local government, not 2, not 3, that for 9 years they didn't have electricity. You see, the main line, the national grid did not even reach them. You see, many communities in Ayekere, in Gbanyin local government, part of Ijero, even some around Asundo Ekiti suburb, you see, and covering many of these communities. During this government of Biodun Oyebanji, that's not just up to 2 months, a lot was invested in the last 1.5 years to ensure that up to 120 kilometers of 11 kVA and 32 kVA were constructed to make sure these communities have light now. Some of them were just selling, because for 9 years, they didn't even have access to light. So all this has happened. And then talking about water, it is one of the best states in Nigeria that where you have water sanitation under the World Bank from the previous administration of Dr. John Kayode Fayemi. Now it's been extended. World Bank is extending that facility to us because Ekiti has performed better, and we're having another tranche. So, in terms of electricity, in terms of infrastructure, we're having the basic things coming in so that for industrialists, for investors to come into Ekiti and feel safe and confident to actually invest in Ekiti State.
All right, so we need to quickly go on a break. When we return, we'll continue this conversation. Stay with us.
We don't like to eat better, more nutritious meals, more veggies, but we want it tasty and easy too. Knorr Cubes, that's the secret. Made with real ingredients like chicken, parsley, and garlic, and enriched with iron, so your meals are better for you and more delicious too. That's the cocoa. Let's give it some accolades. Change your world by changing what's on your plate.
Thank you for staying with us. So we still have Dr. John Ekundayo, Special Advisor to the Governor's Office of Transformation, that's Director General, Office of Transformation and Service, still here with us talking about the 6 pillars put in place by the Governor and how far he has performed with regards to delivering on the promises he made concerning those pillars. From all you have said, you're saying that so far so good. The Governor has been able to deliver good governance to the people.
Yes.
As it is when we're looking at the dividends of democracy. But let's also take it down to the matters of health. Now, primary health care, how it is that the Governor is touching the lives of women who are at the heart of all of these matters. And because we have a cholera outbreak now, how the state government is also addressing that matter.
Well, let me say that where Ekiti State, we have been fortunate, maybe because of some precautionary measures put in place before now. We have not let down our guard after the COVID-19. So far, I don't think we have any recorded case of cholera in Ekiti now, despite the contagious nature of our state to other states. But then, be that as it may, Ekiti State, in the primary health care, there's a lot of this thing coming. Ekiti has free medical service for under 5-year-old, for pregnant women, for treatment of malaria. It's free, basically free, for all people.
Only treatment of malaria?
Yes, for treatment. Then there's this special service under health that is for people who register. There are some category of people. It's called Basic Health Care Provision Fund, for people that are registered in our primary health care, once you register. But people don't really know about this. But then we have to do a lot of sensitization. If you register under that scheme, you have free treatment. You see, but many people have this notion that, government hospital will not attend to me quicker. So the best thing is, let me approach the private hospital. And then, because some people don't really have the money to pay too, they now go for herbal or traditional means. So we want to do more sensitization to let people know that you have access, you have qualified medical personnel who are there in these primary care centers. So for pregnant women in Ekiti, it's free. You are attended to, and like that. So, and then we are having ongoing renovation of our secondary health care centers in Ekiti to make it befitting. So by and large, in terms of health, I believe Ekiti State is doing well.
All right, so I've not really heard you say much about arts, culture, and tourism in the state. You will answer that. And now that we are having the conversation of the minimum wage, a lot of attention has been focused on the role of the state governors, about accountability, viability of state to pay, and also productivity of civil servants in each state. So can you update us about the level of service delivery in the civil service in Ekiti State?
Wow. Let me start from where you stop, the civil service. Because I retired from the Lagos State Civil Service, and when I took over this job, actually one of the things was actually to make sure that our civil service come up and we corrupt shoulder to shoulder with Lagos State, and we were, criticize in OTSD. That's the acronym for my office of Transformation and Service Delivery. Some call us EFCC, some call us policemen, because when you want to change things, other things, it's a transformation, it's a series of changes. So we actually came up with what we call Performance Assessment Improvement Report. I've been here to talk about that. Yeah. And even public appointees were evaluated. So everybody sits on the toe. Right now in Ekiti State, if you write as a member of the public to a ministry, you are expected within 10 days to receive a reply to your letter. If it is from another agency, writing another agency, within 5 working days, you have to reply. Before the advent of this administration, it was not like that. So service delivery, at least you are responding. Things are happening. And then you'll be evaluated. How many memos have you passed to the governor? How many memos have been approved? Your programs. How many have you been able to carry out? How much have you been able to assess your budget? These are metrics to assess. So with that, from the political appointed, the commissioner, the special advisors, is going to the permanent secretary, to the directors. So everybody, you just have to move, And of course, where I'm working now, right now, before, by the time I came there, some people that were not ready to actually work with me had to go, because the governor gave me the leeway, and some other people have to come. And then, because we are the engine room to make these changes to really happen. So when you talk about art and culture, I'm glad to tell you that Ekiti Performance Troupe is one of the best. They won an award, the best in the world in the 2022 or so, for the competition. Apart from that, they are representing Nigeria in France, in Paris. Yes, so it's one of the best we have right now. And right now, under our tourism, Ikogosi Warm Spring is a place you need to visit. With the state of the art, 5-star, instead, it's not a matter of saying it like it's happening. I stay there a night, I pass that night there. The Warm Spring, the Cold Springs meeting, Ikogosi is one of the best. And you see people going there right now. And don't say the roads to Ekiti are not good. No, when you are coming from Malaysia to Igbara, okay, to Igbara, you just get to Ikogosi. The road is good. You see, so in arts, in tourism, culture and tourism, Ekiti is really, really coming up. Then you talk about minimum wage. Yeah. Our governor has been a labor-friendly governor, and I've been interfacing with them from time to time. And, it's part of the meeting with the governors. And you can be sure at the end of the day that Ekiti will not relate. Because why? We are paying salary as I went due. We are even paying backlog. This government is paying backlog of arrears of gratuity or pension of salaries without delay.
All right. So for us to quickly wrap up now, so where are the gaps? What is left to be done as it is? And would you say that the governor has been able to build trust with the people? Because that's one key factor when we're talking about a democracy.
Yes. Like I said, normally we go out from time to time to decipher the yearnings of the people, the longings of the people, and their perspectives. And we see that in infrastructure, we still have infrastructural deficit. You see, but right now for the next budget, it's already proposed to have roads linking, for instance, Ido, Ipere, Iludun road. There are also some other roads that have been earmarked where other communities have not been touched, like, from Awo to Sure to all these other places. And many roads are proposed to happen in the second as we go into the second year of the administration. So in terms of infrastructure, whether in electricity, in water, a lot of projects are coming up. World Bank is still on World Bank project about water in Sowash. So all these are projects that we want to actually address to meet the yearning of the people. And social investment has been done. It's ongoing in MSME, and a lot of things the government is doing to make sure the people are touched.
All right. We'll have to leave the conversation here now. Special Advisor on Transformation and Service Delivery to the Governor of Ekiti State, Dr. John Ekundayo. Thank you for your time on the program.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Right. Now, we went to the streets to ask Nigerians, which would you rather own first, a land or a car? Let's hear some of their response.
For car and property, they serve different purposes. Car is a necessity. You need it to run some. Then property too is very important if you have property, because property is more like an investment. Car is not an investment. Though there are some cars that are investments, yes. But both of them, they serve different purposes.
So between a car and a land, if you had to choose one to own first, which one would you?
Okay. It depends. This question now depends on. It depends on the immediate need. What are my immediate need? So, if my need is for car, of course, car will come before the house. Yes, but if I don't have much need for the car, of course, definitely house will come before the car.
I will choose a land now. Live investment. Car is not a property.
Write off the car immediately. For me, write the car off. Land. That is the most. A car is not property now. In my own view, it's just something that will take away your money, like phone.
If I own a car and a land, land is very good now. Car, oh, there is nothing in car. But if you have a land, that is a very good investment.
A land, of course. Why? Landed property is more valuable than, a car is just like when you're having second wife. so a car will always be demanding.
Land
Where?
or car? First, which one would you?
If I owned ordinary land, I have not started building it. It's like you have nothing. But if you have a car, you can use that car to gain more money and generate more income, more revenue, making more revenue to your pocket. Even using that car in this Lagos, you can use that car to do an Uber and get something doing and build your property or buy landed property later. So if you just buy the land and leave it there without having money to build it, how we used to build it, just buy land. I got money, just buy land first. Okay, what is my income? Compare both.
A land first, then a car, because a land is more or less an investment that would end up appreciating and I can use to do other things. And a car depreciates in price and amount and quality and look.
Interesting responses. A land or a car first?
A car.
A car first.
Yes.
Why?
I think I would just go with one of the respondents who said that if you have a land and you've really not had enough, to build on it, it's really, you don't really have anything. Well, apart from the fact that land appreciates, we all know that. But
appreciates if you want to sell, but then you don't have to have all the monies to start building or doing what you need to do when it comes to land. But then everybody's choice.
Everybody's choice.
Anyway, this is where we draw the curtains on the program for today. Let's let you know that the views and reactions of all our resource persons are theirs and have no connection with TVC News. Up next is your